Here we are, it is the finale, the final night of the Wednesday night Cyclocross World Championships. And perfectly put by Paul in the comments of last week's video, the chance to see who is king of the willy waggers. And to add to it, we may actually have a little bit of mud this week. The weather's been shocking in the UK the last 2 days, although the sun's out now. So one, we may have mud, and two, the plan of action is going to be a wheel sucker tonight, because this wind is tough. But first, I've got some training to do, some zone 2 on the never-ending quest to improve my endurance, and then it is world champs time. Here we go then, the last CX Worlds of the year of 2021, and I've got a good start, and as usual I just can't resist. I've absolutely pinned it into this first section. Now, I did say at the start of this video my plan of action was to be a wheel sucker this week, but I just cannot help myself. As soon as there's a race and I hear the go or the whistle or whatever, I've just got to pin it. It's in my blood. I just enjoy that bit. And anyway, coming down through here, I realised I don't want to really be working that hard this week. I mean, I want to push the pace, so I'm sort of pushing the pace, but at the same time holding back a bit. I'd ignore my heart rate for this first bit. It's gone a bit rogue. It does catch back up in a second. So coming up onto the grass bit, we've got the hurdles, and I'm on the front, and it is windy tonight. I don't know if any I mean, it's not gale force, but you notice it on the front. So I'm sort of looking round at this point over the hurdles, and I did have a little bit of a gap, but I was like, I know I'm not going to be able to maintain that all the way. I'd done a little bit of training before, get my excuses in now. But we'd got a little bit of a gap, and this CX Worlds was littered with controversy at the end of this race. But we're going to finish it. You can see that is blowing a gale, and obviously I'm taking all the work on the front. Look at the tape, the trees are swinging sideways. But anyway, we had a little bit of dog trouble, dog walkers in this race. But I'm on the front, still working hard, and through this section I stay on the front, and I think it was me, Ollie and Simon that had got a bit of a gap. Now, I'm not going as hard as last week. You can see like 200 odd watts. I'm pretty chilled at this point, because I'm sort of thinking to myself, all that matters in this race is whoever gets to the top of that big climb first. Whoever gets to the top of the climb first. Spit it out, son. And I know that I want to hold something back, so it's only a 2-lap race this week, and I don't want to burn all my matches here, because Ollie wants redemption after I'd done him on the climb last week, and well, Simon as well, I expect. So they're both there working. Me and Ollie both on mountain bikes, Simon's on the cross bike. But coming down this section, you're working so much harder being on the front. You can see my heart rate's caught back up now. It's only at like 170. Once it starts getting up above 180, that's when I know I'm pinning it. But I'm keeping the pace relatively high. We come down this section and into the little wooded bit, and then ready for the first climb, and this is when the controversy starts. I mean, it was dog walking central this week, so it's who was willing to take out a dog for the win. No, I'm joking. But we come down through here into the wooded section before the climb, and you know it's going to get absolutely opened up, and we're just going to rip it up there and see who's got the legs tonight. But as we come into it, there's a dog walker, a lady with her dogs. Remember this lady, because she is going to be a nightmare for the world champs. So I've just explained to her that the world champs is on. She needs to know this and be out of the way. I didn't really. She just wanted to know where she could walk, and I mean anywhere on the 10 acres of land that we're on. Just ideally we're in the taped bit, but she just wants to walk bang on the course. So you know how it is. We've gone past her, absolutely giving it beans up here to stay in front, and come down the hill. And I think here, when I got to the bottom of the climb, the bottom of this descent, I looked over my shoulder, and I did have a little bit of a gap, so I sort of give it a little bit of a dig just here, because I thought I could gap him here and go for a good old solo win, best way to win it. And I was feeling pretty good at this point, but we come up through here and we had more problems. There was 3 Labradors, and I mean, I'm not willing to take out a Labrador, so it went past, and I had actually gapped him a bit there, and I need to get a rear view camera for these wheel suckers. Next year we're going to have a rear view camera so you can see them wheel suckers behind me. But I decided it'd be an absolute chopper move to attack now when they were trying to get past the dogs as well. So you can see here I've just sat in and I'm just cruising down here past dog walking lady again, who's going to go absolutely nuts in a second. You're going to want to wait for that bit. But cruising down here, I've let Ollie and Simon get back on because as much as I want to win the world champs, I am not a complete chopper all the time. And I thought it'd be the wrong thing to do to go on an attack then. So anyway, just here we've come all back together. Yeah, again, I'm on the front wheel sucking, but we've gone over the hurdles. They're a bit higher this week, which is good to get a little bit of practice in. But round here, Simon kindly decides to take the front. I mean, we've only got half a lap left now. So he's been wheel sucking, he comes round, and it was good timing. The reason why I wanted to be a wheel sucker this week was not because it was going to be easier. Well, it was going to be a bit easier, but I've realised I seriously need to practice being on someone's wheel. When I'm racing, for some reason, I just don't like following a wheel. I like to be able to pick my line into a corner and set my pace sort of thing. But the problem with that is you get absolutely goosed on the front and you'll be hanging out because you're doing all the work, especially if it's a windy course. So at the Wessex League I done at the weekend, I was on the front a lot and it was a windy course. So you're getting absolutely hammered. Like here, I'm doing like under 100 watts now, and I mean, you've got to put in a little dig out the corner because you can see Simon's putting a little dig, but once it settles back down after that, you're doing like 100 watts less, and it's just so much easier. But he's keeping the pace high because he knows like his best chance, not to put him down, he's a bloody powerful rider, but he knows his best chance is to try and drop us through this grass section. So I'm just thinking, sit in now, wait until that last climb and then just absolutely rip it, all guns blazing, go for the win, take the glory. And Ollie is thinking the same still. He's wheel sucking behind. Need to get that camera set up, the rear view one, so you can see this. So down here I'm thinking now I want to be in that climb first this week because then I don't have to make up so many bike lengths. So the pace is still pretty high, but you can see I'm only doing like 100 watts less, like pretty much nothing now. So I think this is my time to just put a little dig in, go past him, get into the single track here first, and then get up the climb, get into the climb first. So I've pinned it a little bit, got the pace up, and I know I'm just going to absolutely rip it up here. But this is when the controversy comes. Controversy. Here comes dog walking lady. So we've absolutely ripped the head off it, and I'll pause it just here. She starts to swing her arm out at me. You miss it on camera, like, but I was like, whoop-pow. I was too fast and I was ready for her. Everybody was kung fu fighting, and she had to walk on the course tonight. It was just the way it was. But you know what it's like. We gave like ample space and we sorted it out with her after the race. So don't worry. But we did pin it past. She like swung an arm. I was like, nah, not today, thank you. This is the world champs. I've absolutely pinned it up here. I've got to the top, and now Ollie was calling for a steward's inquiry after because I think he pulled up a bit. So obviously I've taken the win, and I'm going to claim this win this week because the way I see it, if you're not willing to take a granny out for the world champs, you don't deserve the world champs jersey. I'm joking. Like, obviously we spoke to the lady after and she was pretty, well, she wasn't chilled about it at the time, but we were happy to share dog walkers and racers. But it's been wicked fun doing these videos over the last couple of weeks, and I think I owe a lot of my form racing wise to doing these sessions, like getting this intensity in and just absolutely hammering it with other people has been absolutely killer for getting them high intensity efforts in, and my form's just gone through the roof doing these. So they've been wicked. This is the final one. I've taken a world championships. I'm claiming it. It was a ropey one. We can say Granny had a say in it, but like I say, if you're not willing to get flipping clothesline by a granny or take a granny out, you don't deserve it. So that's a wrap. We're back racing this weekend. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.